Hi everyone, I'm Pavel from Startup Express, the online startup accelerator. Welcome to our Startup Trends series, where we explore the different growing trends and how entrepreneurs are taking advantage of them by creating new startups. The goal is simple. It's to show you how they do it and to inspire you so you can also start your own startup in one of these areas. In this video, we will talk about the absolutely mind-blowing eSports trend. Let me say this first. eSports is really hot right now. It's growing like crazy. So if you love video games and always dreamed about creating a business in that field, now's your time to act. Esports have existed since always, but they were never as popular as they are today. And it's just the beginning. We can say that it's Twitch that really gave a huge boost and accelerated the growth of the esports industry by allowing gamers to stream their games, and then the number of viewers skyrocketed. And now Twitch has hundreds of millions of viewers and they are the main game streaming platform. So let's take a look at which startups are popping up around esports. It's a big area, so we'll organize it around the main interest groups. So there are the streaming platforms like Twitch and the video game creators. Then there are streamers, either amateur or professionals, and then there are the viewers. First of all the main video game developers are on Twitch and they organize worldwide competitions and give out a lot of prizes. So today there are more and more players who become professionals and base their careers on gaming. This is an opportunity for both players and game developers because they get a lot of exposure. I mean, seriously, look at how amazing this is. That's a championship of Rocket League, and you have this amazing set and these professional commentators that are better than most of the football commentators, right? They know players' names, strategies, and they speak very well, so this is all very serious stuff. If this is happening, it means that there's money in the industry. But how can entrepreneurs create startups in the esports trend? Let's take a look at Gamer Sensei. They position themselves between professional players and amateur players who want to become better at video games. So it's a website where you can find professional players, schedule sessions with them to play together and learn. Basically, it's video game training and coaching, and recently they raised $2.5 million investment, so it's very serious. Probably if this company started several years ago, people would laugh and think like, who the f is going to pay to learn how to play video games, right? Well, guess what? In addition to this, there are now esports classes in schools in countries like Sweden and Norway, and also specializations in esports in university in Las Vegas, and some standalone schools like the Esports Academy. Now let's get out in the real world with esports. So this one is very easy to understand. There's a new bar franchise which is becoming super popular, which is called Meltdown. Basically it's a bar for gamers where they drink alcohol, play video games and watch video game tournaments. I mean, isn't it amazing? It's like the internet cafe concept all over again, but much more fun and up to date. Gamers are often criticized for being less social than the rest of the population, and it's partly true because a lot of us spend a lot of time sitting alone in front of our PCs or consoles, and that's a problem, right? So why not solve it by creating a social space around this passion? Personally, I think it's genius, and today you can buy your own Meltdown bar franchise and open this kind of bar in your city. But to organize esports tournaments, you need venues, right? So this is what Esports Arena are doing. From their name, you can guess that they are building esports arenas in major cities of the world. Their vision is clear. The founder thinks that esports will be the main sports of the 21st century. So just like there are football stadiums in major cities all around the world, he believes that there will be esports arenas everywhere as well. So the examples we've just seen apply to esports viewers as their customers. They are all rather common types of businesses and don't require complex technical skills to get started. It's all about the same stuff that already exists for other types of businesses, like training and coaching, bars, venues, etc., but specifically designed for esports. So you just have to hop on the trend. But then you can also get more technical. For example, if you want to organize esports tournaments, you can turn to Battlefly. This startup allows you to create, organize and manage esports tournaments, so they integrated all the important features for that on their platform. And then there's also esports TV. So if you think that TV is dying generally speaking, well, you're right. But despite that, eSports TV is a brand new TV channel dedicated to esports only. And the funny thing is that TV channels dedicated to video games existed since always, right? But as TV was going down overall, most of them went bankrupt. And now that streaming is creating a huge new community around esports, it's just obvious that somebody had to seize the opportunity and create a dedicated TV channel all over again. But then there is of course a variety of particularly technical startups that create all the solutions for video game streaming. For example, the company Curse is like Skype but specifically designed for gamers. It's a communication platform with a better quality for voice communication during video games. It was actually launched long time ago, but it got up to date and added many features, and today, as I'm recording this, it was announced that Twitch is actually buying Curse, so it's a great success, right? There's also Genvid Technologies that wants to make esports watching more appealing, like creating dynamic camera angles, analyzing the most popular camera angles, adapting them to each single viewer's preferences, and much more. So of course there are a lot of opportunities in that technical area which allows for the actual streaming to work. And you have to be either experienced or knowledgeable about how all of these things work already to know what can be improved there, and then create a technical solution that would answer these problems, right? Obviously the opportunities are endless, and I haven't even talked here about all the other things that you can do around esports, like websites, magazines, all the opportunities around advertising, branding, sponsoring, etc. For example, when it comes to popular physical sports like football, there are agencies specialized in transferring players and taking care of their advertising, sponsoring deals, and other things. And when I first wrote the script for this video, I just imagined that there would be the same kind of agencies for professional esports players. And before I started to record the video, I checked again and I found a company called Flood Interactive. So that's exactly what they're doing, but for professional streamers at the moment. And eventually, as professional players get more and more notoriety, they will get into that segment as well. And so then these new businesses like Flood Interactive will take care of transferring esports players between different clubs, taking care of their advertising deals, etc, etc. There's just one additional thing I want to mention here which is out of the context of this video, but it's really important. If you're watching our Startup Trends series and at some point you see an example of a startup and you think something like, oh this is exactly what I wanted to do and it's already taken, somebody's already doing it, right? Well, don't be scared. If you're scared and if you're thinking about giving up for that reason, this is a completely wrong thing to do, okay? That's because actually the best moment to start a startup in a certain field is when other startups are just getting started in that field as well. Of course, you will always have competitors and you will have to compete. That's just how it is and there's no way around it. Basically, according to the current state of a market and the conditions around competition, you can always find ways to grow a startup. If you want to know more about it, just take our free course in our online startup accelerator. The link is right below in the description of this video. In one of our completely free courses, we go through several competition scenarios and how you should act according to them if you happen to have an idea that already exists. So when it comes to the esports trend, just like all the other trends, it's really up to you to imagine what kind of startups you can create in that field. You can either solve a problem which is not addressed yet, or you can copy something which is not from esports originally but you adapt it for esports like we've seen in the beginning of this video, or you can do something totally new. So thanks for watching, and if you have other ideas for startups around esports or just want to discuss this video, don't hesitate to do it in the comments and subscribe to be notified about our next videos. We will discuss about trends like drones, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, fintech, mobility, and much more.